Most traders can't stay consistent, but this guy, not only has he been full-time trading, traveling around the world, running multiple businesses, he's also supporting his family. And today, he's going to share with you the simple secrets that got him to where he is. So with no further ado, Nathan, how you doing, my guy?
My guy, come on, I'm always good, man. You know me. You know me, man. Yeah, man. Bro, this has been long overdue, man. It's been long overdue. You know, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into this, man. I know you've got a lot of value to share. You've had a lot of experience in the market. So,
Yes, sir. I even get myself comfy right now. Yeah, let's do it.
So Nathan, I know you're a man of many talents. You've got your hands in many pies. But for those who don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm a simple man doing many things, you know. I own a perfume company, Majestic Essences. I trade, teach, and I run my life as close to what I want it to be like as I possibly can. You know, spending time with family, you know, chilling, playing games, doing the stuff that I like to do. I'm almost like a big kid, you know. So outside of my work, I like to just, you know, spend time with family and do the things that really matter, you know.
So how old have you and how long have you been, you know, trading for?
Yes, I've been trading now just over 8 years now, coming up to 9 years actually. And I've been, I guess, quote unquote, full time. I say full time because I don't just trade full time. I don't think that's a wise idea, you know. We spoke about.
Why not?
Well, because what I find is that in my personal life anyway, I mean, it could be different for a lot of people, but for me, I realized that when I was just trading alone, it affected my psychology because I was just focusing on trading. Every day was trading. Okay, I'm finished trading now. Oh, let me go back to trading. There was nothing else breaking it up, you know?
During the learning part?
Yeah, during the learning part, even now, bro. Like, I don't like the idea of just, okay, cool, I'm just trading and that's it, you know?
But I thought that's the dream, right? To quit your job and just trade.
Yeah, you like to think so, right? And for me, it's just like, I thought the same thing, bro. When I was learning and really like trying to get this thing down and start trying to make enough money to leave my job and do all of these things, right?
Like, sorry, what was you doing for your job?
I was working in the TESCO, the Tesco, right? And bro, like, we'll talk about that, bro, because it was a dark time, bro. I won't lie to you, but yeah, bro, like when I was working and, you know, trying to make this whole training thing work, right? I used to think, yeah, man, it's gonna get to the point where I'm full time and I just, you know, do the laptop lifestyle, you know, travel, go to the beach, have my laptop on the beach, you know, sipping my halal, you know, beverage, whatever that beverage may be, you know, and then I would just enjoy my life and that would just kind of be it. And I was very, 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 very wrong, you know, like I had to realize, and I guess as I matured as a trader, it started to make me realize you trade and there's a time for trading and you have to put planning behind it. It has to be intentional, you know, but outside of that, I didn't want to just be, you know, at home just doing nothing because then my mind is thinking, okay, cool. Like, what if I miss a trade? What if this happens? What if I miss this? Or what if, you know? So what I found was that working on my business and spending time with my family, really breaking the days up, helped my trading psychology. Like, it was an insurmountable amount of difference between the two, you know, when I was trading alone and when I was trading and doing other stuff. And it's funny because when I was trading by itself, I was less profitable than I am now doing a whole bunch of different stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in a lot of detail.
Definitely, I look forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. So just give us a bit of an insight though. What does your life actually look like now? Because you've been full-time trading for how long?
Since after COVID, so around about like 6 years.
Wow, 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what does my life look like now? I would usually wake up. So, well, actually, if I start off on the day before, I usually plan my day the evening before, right? So I'll know, okay, have I got calls? You know, when am I going to be on the charts? When am I going to go to the gym? When am I going to, you know, have like things that need to be done in that day? And then what I would do is I'll just cram everything else that needs to be done around those times. Because for me, as long as the most important things of that day get done, like that's the most important thing to me, you know? So I will get up in the morning, go to the gym, come back, shower, do your breakfast and this and that, you know how it goes. Then I'll spend time with my daughter, my wife, you know, we might go on a walk or go for breakfast or do whatever. And obviously we usually trade New York Stock Exchange, right? Just like 2:30 onwards, unless it's currencies. But a lot of the time I'm trading indices, so I'm mainly focused on that. So usually be afternoon times I'm trading. So I'm able to have that morning time to just, you know, that Instagram, those slow mornings. I'd like that. You know, so I'll do my auditing in the morning, you know, for my trading day, you know, and I'll just kind of touch base with myself, see how am I doing for the day, you know, and check that I'm even okay to even be trading in the first place on that day, you know, because there's nothing like, you know, I've got business stress with my perfume company and I'm trying to trade. The two just don't go well together, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, obviously, you know, moving forward into the afternoon time, I'll usually, you know, come on the laptop and really like dial in and, you know, do the things that I'm supposed to do. So, you know, again, go through my audit, make sure that nothing's changed from the morning, you know, and obviously the afternoon.
So what time do you normally wake up then?
Yeah, so I'm usually up like 7. 7. You'll see me even on Instagram in the morning pushing weights. Like I'll get up 7, wash my face, brush my teeth, all that good stuff, have a snack, and I'm in the gym. You know?
But that's not because you have to. You choose to.
Yeah, it's a choice, and it's like I like operating from I get to rather than I have to. You know, and it's like I'll go to the gym and I'm the happiest person in the gym because it's like, okay, cool. I know I'm not rushing around like, oh no, I've got to get this and these dumbbells and oh, how many sets you got left? You know, the common gym thing, right? Like I don't have to rush because I know I'm coming home to like peace, you know? And I'm obviously married, right? So married life is peaceful, you know? I don't have no stress in that regard.
So for you, your biggest value is peace.
Yeah, 100%.
So then what was your life like before trading? Was it a peaceful life? Because you mentioned you was in Tesco's.
Yeah, it was the opposite of peace, bro. And if I'm just gonna be so real with you, bro, like when I first started working there, I wasn't driving, right? So I'll talk you through like what my day to day was like. So I had to work the 6 till 3 shift.
6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Wow.
to 3 p.m. And I had to do that as like my introductory, you know, into Tesco, because that's the only slot they had. And at the time it was like, I'm either gonna get a job or I'm gonna find myself with some illegal shits doing. I don't know. I can swear, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. Cool. So yeah, I was either gonna be that. Like I think for me, work has always been like a saving grace for me, and it was just so happened that it was Tesco, and they were like, okay, cool. It's kind of 6 to 3, and I was like, all right. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but we'll figure it out. And reason why I say I didn't know how I was gonna do that was because where my house is, it's only the night bus that runs, you know? So if I'm like, bro, it was so dark. It was so dark. Okay, cool. So I would have to get up at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, I'd have to get up at 3 a.m., be ready by 3:30. The night bus will come at 3:35 in the morning. So I would get that bus to Bexley Heath, which is obviously, I was working in the Sidcup one, right? So I would get the 3:35 a.m. bus to Bexley Heath, and I'd have to wait there for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Because obviously was it 321? The 321 bus wouldn't come until 20 minutes after, right? I remember the routine like it was just yesterday. And then from there, it would take me to Eltham, and then I would have to wait at Eltham for like another 30 minutes. Or like another like 25, 30 minutes or whatever.
And how did that feel, taking that long journey
Bro,
at that time?
Man, it was horrible. Because it was like I was missing out on sleep. Because I've always been like a go to bed at 10, you know, kind of guy. So like after, right? So I'm sleeping for like a few hours, getting up, you know, having to bro. The worst part was that I would get to work like 45 minutes. I'll get there like 5:15. And it's like, I'm starting at 6. So I'm there 45 minutes, just chilling because I can't start my shift yet, right? And for me, it was just like, it was horrible. And I was looking at the same time, I was looking at, you know, your trading. Obviously, I was trading, but it was like, I wasn't fully committed just yet because I was doing that. I was looking at flipping affiliate marketing, you name it. I was trying to do it, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because I just wanted out of that work life. Like, bro, I wanted it so bad, bro. And it wasn't even the one, I needed it, bro. It was such a big priority for me at the time. So literally, I remember as well, you come across some very interesting individuals at those type of times in the morning, right?
Especially in London.
Like, yeah, bro, like 4 something in the morning, I'm seeing people. I'll never forget, there was this lady and she was like asking me to do some stuff to her in front of her husband. On the bus, by the way. Like she was like, oh yeah, like I won't go into detail, but she was like, yeah, I want you to do this, whatever. And at that point, I just remember like, yo, I'm coming across all these weird people. It's at a time where I don't even, like I would usually be asleep these times. I don't want to be working this job. It was horrible, bro. And then I would get to my work and it was like, okay, I'm working, and I was on the bread and cakes section, right? So every day, you know, go in the back, you had like 20 flipping stacks of bread. I needed to bring them all out, organize them, dates need to come in front, the later dates need to go in the back, bro. It was horrible, bro. So it was a lot of stress those times, and it was a lot of like grind and like, I don't want to say unhappiness. I made fun of it like when I was there. So I'd, you know, speak to people, and you know, when I'd finish my work at let's say 8, 9 in the morning, you know, the managers would usually come in a little bit later, maybe like 11. So I'd maybe, you know, be in the back. The bakers would give me like cookies or croissants or whatever, watch Fresh Prince. So I'd make light of it as much as I could, but it wasn't the nicest journey, you know? So, yeah, it was high. I want to say high stress because of the hours I was doing and because of what was expected of me. I was also I would literally finish work at 3, literally like the bus from there to where my gym was will come every half an hour. So I'm waiting in the bus stop for like half an hour because it was right outside the Tesco, go to the gym, come back, study and trading. And that was my day-to-day, daily, bro. On top of that, I'm trying to spend time with family, my girl at the time. It was a lot, bro. Do you know what I mean? But for me, it was like I didn't really have any other route out. You know, it was either that or I literally said to myself from those times, I'm either this trading thing is going to work or I'm going to die. One of them's going to happen first.
So how did you come across trading?
Yeah, so I came across trading. Interesting story, actually. I came across this guy. You know the type of guy I'm talking about, the signal guy.
Oh no,
yeah, bro, yeah, pussy. What's it called? Yeah, like, cause like, bro. I just wanted to come to trading because I was like, okay, cool. I can, number one, learn a skill set that can make me free. I can make money whenever I wanted to make money. I can be in any country. I can do whatever I want, right? And this guy really played on that. He had the navy. As soon as I say it, if people are gonna know who it is, the navy or navy blue / purple was like a weird color. Rolls Royce. It was on Channel 4. Rich Kids of London. You know who? If you're watching this now, you know I'm pussy. I say it again, right? But what's it called? I got introduced to his signal group, and I was in the signal group for a little while, and I didn't understand how the game is. No, we understand it now, but I didn't understand it at the time. So I'm putting my money in from Tesco, birthday money, you know, Christmas money, whatever money I could get my hands on, I'm putting it in, losing it.
Wow.
Putting it in, losing it. And bro, like there was a point where, because I was earning what, like £1,100 at Tesco, but I'm taking like £300-400, putting it in, right? And
it's almost half of your net worth.
Bro, literally, bro. On top of that, I'm trying to learn how to drive. So I'm paying for driving lessons. They weren't fucking cheap at all as well. Like, bro, it was a lot, bro. But yeah, so I was doing these signals or whatever. I kept losing money. And it got to the point where I was like, excuse my language, fuck this trading thing. I'm not doing this again. And then
losing money.
Yeah, just losing money.
Sucked into the lifestyle.
Yeah, bro. Like losing money. And it was like, the worst part about it was the feeling of I'm investing into me trying to leave my job, and I'm just going the opposite way, you know? So yeah, bro, it was like.
But was you learning? What actually did you buy?
There was no learning, bro. I paid for, so they had an entry fee to come in, right? So the entry fee was like £200, £250, whatever. And then you have to fund your broker as well. And they're sending you these signals, and it's like, you know, you might make £10 and then I'm losing like flipping £60. And it was just a vicious cycle, bro. So by the time I knew it, I put all my money in and I'm looking at this account, bro. I can't remember exactly. It was that like, I remember it ending in a 3. It was like £23 or £13, something like that. And it was like, bro, I'll put in bread and I'm looking at this 2 figures ending in a 3. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this, bro? Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So it got to a point where I was like, okay, forget this training thing. I'm not doing it no more. And then God just pulled me back, bro. Literally, I was searching for stuff. I was still doing I was trying to study like Amazon FBA and this and that. And then I came across network marketing company that we were both in, right?
So before we get into that,
yeah,
for other people, because there's a lot of signal groups online, everyone's telling you that, oh, it's free education, or for example, free signals, you can make loads of money. So you're saying that is not true. That's not real. Yeah,
like especially with that one there, that was not real, bro. And I should have known better because of I was looking at the whole lifestyle and all this other stuff. I should have known better. But at the time, it's like, you know how they say, when the higher your emotion, the lower your decision making, right? So my emotion was high because it's like, okay, I want to leave my job. But like, I'm so emotional about it. So I'm just, cool, let me do that. Let me do that. Let me do that. And because of that, the quality of my decisions were lower. So I'm like, okay, cool. Even though I can't, it's like with like a female, you might meet a female, or maybe not you, because obviously I know you're a taken man, right? But you might meet a female, you know she's got red flags. She's pretty though. So let me just, do you know what I mean? Next thing you know, you're in a position you don't want to be in. I'll put it like that, right? So it was a similar thing. I saw the red flags. I just kind of ignored it and ended up losing my money. And that taught me, like, okay, cool.
Sorry, what were some of those red flags?
Red flags, the whole lifestyle thing, like
no
it was
education,
like, yeah,
like, it wasn't teaching you.
yeah, no education. It was just strictly just lifestyle, but it was like an inflated lifestyle. Like, okay, every day I'm at Selfridges and Harrods, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it's like, bro, we've been trading for long enough to know that's not the case. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the time, I wasn't privy to this stuff, so there was no education. The inflated lifestyle thing. Also, as well, one thing that I realized, like upon looking in hindsight, was that, bro, the person I was speaking to that brought me in was very like forceful with me getting in. Oh, yo, you need to start today. Like, start today. They're doing this deal. They're doing this deal. It's only, he was like, oh, it's usually £400 or whatever to join, or that you have to start off with. But today we're making it so it's £200 or whatever. So it was like they were really trying to get me in. And again, I didn't realize. I thought, oh yeah, these people just want the best for me. No, they fucking didn't. Do you know what I mean? So there was a few red flags, and I knew it as I was doing it. That's the worst part. And it just wasn't the case, you know?
So from there, you eventually, because now you're full-time trading. So what was the transition? How did you go from blowing accounts with these signal groups to actually now making it happen?
Yeah, so if I'm just keeping it a buck with you, my bro, it was a lot of, because obviously after that, the whole signals thing, I obviously found this network marketing company. I started learning. I was like, okay, cool, there's some education here. But what I was finding was that what I was learning, it was informative, but it wasn't enough for me to branch out on my own. And obviously, after all, like, they benefit off of the monthly subscription, so why would they teach me enough for me to go out on my own? Otherwise, I would stop paying the membership, right? But again, I didn't realize this. So for me, it was that I was learning, and I'm like, okay, cool, not really learning that much. And again, it was just a cycle. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I would have profitable times and I would make some money, and then I'm donating it back to my broker like it's Oxfam or something, you know? And then from there, I was like, okay, cool, I'm making a bit more money. And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm donating it. There was a time when I was working in Tesco, and this is what kind of changed everything for me, made me realize, okay, this thing can work if I work it, right? I ended up making, and I told this story a few times actually, I made like 300 and something pounds, right? And it was on a day I was meant to be working, right? And I've come in not realizing that my days had been changed. And I think I'd asked for it, but I'd just forgotten. So I've come in on a Wednesday, and obviously I was meant to be in on the Thursday. So I've come in, seen the rota, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, my name's crossed off and it's on Thursday now. So I'm like, oh snap, we're not meant to be here. All right, cool, I'm gonna make a move. And my manager was like, oh, like, you're here, you might as well stay. And I said, fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. Because I'd made this money, right? I'd been trading like early in the morning and then made that £300 or whatever, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I made this 300 something pounds. It didn't take me that long to make it. I would have to be here in Tesco a good 3 days or so, maybe just over, in order for me to make the same money. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to stay. I'll leave. I'll come back tomorrow. And I withdraw some of that money and bought some Chinese food. So not all of it, but yeah.
So you was going through the signal groups, lost a lot of money that way, and then you eventually found some education. So let's sort of circle back on that, because there's a lot of education out there. Some of it is true. It's a scam. It's rubbish. It doesn't work. But there is some actual good information out there because it works for you.
Yeah. So
how did you know the information the new information you found, how did you know that that was actually good and worth buying?
Yeah. If I'm being very honest, bro, at the time, I didn't. I didn't know it, bro. But again, it was going back to that thing that I was saying earlier. I'm either going to learn this thing or I'm going to fucking die, bro. It's one of the two. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go with it and just see. And I think, like, you have to find someone to, like, just go all in on. Do you know what I mean? You have to find someone and believe in it. Even if it's the wrong thing, by the way. Go and believe in it and commit to it. And go in as hard as you can. And once you do that, you along the way know, okay, cool. This is not actually great to do, or it's not working, or it is working. And I think the faster you commit, the faster you figure that out. So I just committed, bro. And I've always committed with the signals thing, with the network marketing thing, everything. I've always committed, and it just ended up being so that the last thing, the thing that what I'm learning now, was the thing that actually worked. Had I not committed, I probably wouldn't have been in this position now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, bro, I won't lie to you and say, oh yeah, I knew. Like, sometimes, I knew this is. I didn't know, bro. I was just like, cool. I saw you doing, like, was, bro, at this point, I'd gone through another course after the network marketing thing as well, right? And I'd started putting some stuff together, started seeing some profitability, not the way I wanted it to, but I was moving in the right direction. And then I saw you doing a whole bag of stuff, bro. I was like, hold on, one to what? I want to what, 30 plus? I want to 40. I was seeing you doing this, and I was like, yo, again, excuse my language, but what the fuck is this guy doing?
And what's a 1 to 30 for those who might not know?
Yeah, so it's a risk reward ratio. So essentially, it's for every £1 that you're risking, you're making £30 on, right?
And is that normal?
I think 10, divide that by 10, that's normal, right? So 1 to 3, that's your normal, right?
So
your industry standard.
most people were risking the dollar to make 3.
Yeah.
And then you obviously see me getting the bigger ones.
Yeah. And at the time, it was like my highest to that point was like a 1 to 13. So it was like, but I saw you doing like just some mad shit, bro. And I'm thinking, yo, is this guy an alien, or maybe he's easy lying, or what's going on right now? Like, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I was like, all right, cool, commit. And I think I messaged you. So we started talking. I remember I was in Turkey, and I remember because I had flown my mum out and my wife and my daughter at the time to go to Turkey, and I was eating breakfast, and I saw one of your social media, like your posts, and I was like, bro, okay, cool. I need to find out how he's doing this. So from there, obviously we ended up speaking, and I don't know if you remember, bro. Literally, I was like, bro, I'm coming back on this day, and I'm ready to lock in. And then literally was like, okay, cool. Started, and obviously we started, working and I started really understanding, oh, okay, right, there is a way to do this. And it's not the way that I was being fucking taught before. So I was like, okay, cool.
So you've tried a lot of things, you got burnt. We're going to get into the secrets. You're going to share all the source. We're going to give everything away for free so that people can really change their trading from this.
Yeah.
But when you found me, you got burnt many times. And there must have been a point where getting burnt, spending all this money on courses, signals, losing it, you must have felt like giving up.
Yeah. There was times where like I entertained it in my mind, but I knew I wasn't going to give up. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like it's a paradox, because it was like at one point it's like, okay, I'm seeing, and this is a thing that a lot of people don't talk about, right? I'm learning this skill, and I'm trying to learn the skill anyway, right? At the time, and it's like I'm trying to learn this skill, and at the same time, I'm seeing people getting better jobs. I'm seeing people going on more holidays. And they're going down this, this route, the normal route, the route that everyone seems to go down, right? So I'm seeing people getting, their degrees and getting a better jobs and da-da-da. And I'm still learning this stuff, and I'm getting burnt there, I'm getting burnt there. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, should I just go the route that everyone else is going? And there was times where I entertained, I won't lie to you. But the other side, I was like, but I know where that leads. Do you get what I mean, bro? So it's like, I know where that leads. I don't really want to go down that route. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going down this route. So yeah, I did feel like at a point, okay, I want to give up, especially where it's like, bro, like again, a lot of people don't talk about, you're learning this stuff, and it's like, I've still got to pay for this. I've got to pay for that. I've got to pay for this, driver lessons, this. Well, at the time, once I'd eventually, pass my driving test, car, petrol, MOT, this, that, like, there's still stuff to pay for. Do you get what I'm saying?
So when you're paying for all these things, why did you still invest into yourself? Because a lot of people, they got bills, they've got all these things going on with life, but they're hesitant to invest into themselves. Yeah. So why did you still decide to do that despite getting scammed and burned?
Yeah, I'm going to give you two answers. The first one is the crude one, because I'm just not a bitch, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not. And the second thing was, I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew that going that route was just not going to give me that. I'm not saying everyone goes down that route as a BITCH. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me, I wouldn't feel good in myself knowing this is where I want to go. Sorry, this is where I want to go, but it's a little bit difficult. This is the easier route. I know that I can, live a comfortable, okay life, quote unquote, if I go down this route. But I'm still going to go down this route because it's like, yeah, it's just easier. I'm just not a bitch, bro. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, okay, cool. Like I said earlier, I'm going to commit, and I'm going to keep committing. And if, God forbid, if it didn't work out the way that it's worked out now, and the way that it's been working out, it would have just been something else, bro. But I wouldn't have stopped. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, it was just like, I just had to get out of that, bro. Because I've seen family members that are older. Bro, here's a quick story. As I was working in Tesco, I remember, I can't remember the lady's name, ginger lady. She'd been working at Tesco for like 17 years, 20 years. It was a long time, right? And she'd obviously come to the end of her working time, 65 or whatever age it is, right? And Do you know what they gave her as a sending off?
What did they give
A
her?
cake and an Argos voucher. I will never forget that, bro.
What? For how many years? 17.
Bro, like over 70, bro, it was nuts, bro.
Wow.
And I remember I was in the staff room eating my tilda rice and my chicken, you know, trying to put a bulk on, right? And I was seeing them, you know, like sending her off and giving her cards and whatever. And she's like, oh, an Argos voucher. I will never ever, bro, I will never forget that. And I was like, yeah, fuck that, bro. I can't do it. It wouldn't be fair to me. It wouldn't be fair to my family, you know, to my girl at the time, to my mum, to the people that, do you know what I mean, that were before me. It just wouldn't be fair. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, I'm not going down that route. I have to, this has to work.
So seeing not only your own struggles, right? Maybe you saw some family struggles, you saw other people struggling, and you was getting burnt left, right, and center. I really admire that you had that mindset of, if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And guys, I really want you to take note of that. He got scammed so many times. He got burnt so many times. And where most people give up, he pushed through. He kept going towards that pain. And that's why you've been full-time trading, traveling around the world, and absolutely killing it. And that is a testament.
I'm just trying to doing all right, you know.
So once you found myself and you started learning this, what actually changed for you? I know you mentioned some risk rewards, but what was that real turning point and shift?
Yeah, bro. So it was just understanding that there's actually like a real recipe / method to this whole game. Like I was just focusing on charts. Okay, wake up in the morning, charts. Right. After I've looked at the charts for some time, took a break, more charts. And upon obviously like working with yourself and, you know, going through how we actually look at the markets now, it's like, oh, hold on. So charts, there's also macroeconomics. There's also psychology. There's also journaling your trades and actually looking at and analyzing the data that you're getting back, which I was doing none of before. I mean, I was journaling, but it was very wishy-washy. Do you know what I mean? Now there's actually structure to it, and there's more purpose behind it now because I'm doing it for a reason, not just doing it just to do it because everyone else says you should do it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you was focused. So before you was just focused on technicals.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned there was like a recipe, like a structure. Can you go a bit more in detail in terms of what that structure actually looks like now and what you focus on?
Yeah, definitely. So so we'll talk about the technical part in a minute. So from a macroeconomics perspective, it's understanding, okay, cool, like there's actually an economic cycle that drives the market. And that economic cycle also drives institutions to buy and sell when they do. So I was like, okay, cool. So if I understand that, a lot of the job is actually done already. I actually know what direction these markets should be going in based on the macroeconomics, right? So it was understanding, okay, cool, that should be done before anything else. And then from there, I should now come and look at the charts and see, okay, is the macroeconomic bias, if you will, in line with the technical bias and actually what's actually being shown to me on the charts? Oh, no, it isn't? All right, well, then maybe I should sit out for the day.
When you started implementing that, how did your trading actually start changing?
Yeah, so I started taking a lot less trades because, and this is such a beautiful thing, right? I was able to understand the art of discernment, meaning what? I knew when to go into a trade and when to step back and be like, you know what? Probably not the greatest trade environment for me to be in.
And what are some of those signals?
Yeah, so for example, like I just mentioned earlier, like if the technicals and the fundamentals aren't in line, the technicals and the macroeconomics, should I say, aren't in line, it's probably not the highest probability, environment to be trading in. That's number one.
Give us an example of that?
Yeah, okay, cool. So for example, let's say currently actually, like right now, we don't know fully what's going to happen with inflation moving forward, right? And I won't, go into super detail because, time purposes, right? But we don't understand right now what's going to happen with inflation. We have got inflation coming out later this week. Is this week, right? Yeah, it's this week. And up until that data comes out, we're not fully sure, okay, cool, is inflation climbing higher? Is inflation climbing lower? And inflation will essentially drive what happens with the dollar. If inflation goes higher, then obviously the dollar will continue to gain strength. And obviously indices will tend to fall off, right? Historically, that we can see that just by going through the charts and matching it up with the macroeconomics.
That was a major key he just dropped. Make sure you take notes on that.
Now, it's like, because we don't know, I'm not going to fully commit to buyers or sells right now. And when I say fully commit, I mean, I'm not going to go full risk because it's like, this environment, we don't know exactly what's going to happen just yet. That's why we wait for the data and we respond to the data rather than trying to guess. So, and that's another thing that I was just going to mention earlier as well. Like, I don't guess anymore. you know, which adds to the whole thing of discernment I just mentioned. So because of that, and the whole inflation thing that's taking place currently, and I'm not fully sure what's going to happen because of the whole war and all this whole other stuff that we talk about literally like 4 times a week. So because of that, I'm not going to be like, great, let's buy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is, okay, am I seeing any clarity on the charts right now? Oh no, I'm not. And I don't have clarity with the fundamentals currently. Okay, you know what? I'll leave it.
So you're saying that not every day is like 100% trade.
100% not.
So before you was every day trading, then you was losing a lot of money doing that. But now you're looking at more things like the macroeconomics. And of course there's environments, right, where sometimes it's very bullish, sometimes very bearish, and sometimes it's a bit unsure. Yeah. So what actually changes for you? You mentioned you lower your risk a little bit.
Yeah, I'll lower my risk. I will... What else will I change? I'll lower my risk, number one. I'll be less like aggressive. And when I say that, I mean, for example, we look at like schematics, right? So an accumulation shows that buyers are obviously coming into the market, and as do reaccumulations, right? So for example, if I'm looking to buy, instead of entering off the first accumulation, I might wait for the reaccumulation as further confluence. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wyckoff.
Those who don't know. Yeah, this is Wyckoff stuff, right? So I'll wait for further confirmation, just so that I know if this trade is to lose, I've done everything on my side that I need to do. You know, I will also take the approach of like not wanting to be in a trade, you know? And when I say that, it's because, again, I've worked on my psychology and I understand, okay, cool. The fact that I'm, like before, I wasn't able to sit in front of the chart and just sit still. Do you know what I mean? And just like not trade if there's nothing to trade. I would think, okay, cool, like, shit, I need to make some money today. I've got fucking bills to pay, right? So like I need to get into a trade. I've kind of removed myself from doing that, you know? So these are some examples of things that I've done to kind of now make it so that I'm not trading so much and that I'm focusing more on quality of my trades rather than the quantity.
And I think that's very important because you showed something very important. Before, when you was not profitable, losing money, you was always looking for a reason to trade. But now you're actually hesitating, you're trading less. Yeah. And it's very interesting. You said you're making more, you're now trading less.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like I'm waiting for the right time and then I'm striking, you know? And I think we've spoken about this before, but it's like, the way I see it is like this. I won't say we're in right now, but let's say we're in London, right? And I just take 2 random people that I've never, ever, ever been in a boxing gym before. Steve and James, right? Steve and James, you guys have both never been in a boxing gym before. Steve, next week, you're going to go in the boxing gym 5 times. James, you're going to go in 1 time. Who's going to get punched in the face more? The first person, because he's in there more. He's opening himself up to being punched in the face more than the person that's only going in once. And for me, when I think about that, I say, okay, hold on a minute. If I can be in less, I'm naturally going to open myself up to less risk, on less losses, right? How do I be in the market less while focus on quality? And I make sure that I wait and I wait and I wait. And when the trade comes to me and everything lines up with my plan, fundamentals, technicals, everything's lining up, and you know I'm doing it. I'm about to take the trade from a place of like calm and clarity rather than I'm gonna miss it. Like when I do those 2 things, I find I'm in the markets less, and as a result, the trades I'm taking not only are higher probability, which lead to more wins, but it's also the risk to rewards that I'm catching, which is way better. You know.
So can we get into that a little bit more?
Yeah.
So you said you trade less. How many trades would you say you was taking before using these validation criterias?
Man.
And how many trades now?
Yeah,
on average.
Yeah, nobody slapped me, all right? Nobody slapped me. Oh, I was trading like, bro, like sometimes 8, 9 trades sometimes a week.
A week?
Yeah, bro.
8 trades a week?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Damn, the commissions must have been eating your account.
Yeah, bro. Like I'll just see in my account just going down. It's horrible.
8 trades a week, account melting. And roughly how many trades you take now a week?
Like 1 to 3.
Wow.
Yeah, like usually, like very seldom am I taking trades like 5 trades a week or even 4, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's just, and I like it that way as well because it's like people don't account for. Okay, you're taking all these trades. They don't account for how much time they have to spend actually like mentally thinking about that trade, journaling the trade. They have to like after when I say managing the trade, journaling the trade after the trade's been taken. Whether it's win or loss, you still have to document. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they're not factoring all these things in. They're just factoring in, I can win or I can lose. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like there's so much more to it than that. Do you see what I'm saying? And
so now you're not just focusing all on technicals. You said you focus on economics, technicals, anything else you focus on?
Yeah, psychology and just like data analysis, like going through my data. Like, for example, like in the past, I remember I used to trade anytime, bro. I was like, yo, Asia, I'm there. Yeah, 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Listen, we need to get this money, right? That's what we used to think of. Do more, get more, right? So because of that, it was like, all right, I'm trading anytime, cool. Like anything goes. Whereas it's like, okay, cool. I was looking at my data, and my data is telling me majority of the time when I'm trading in Asia session, it's just like, bro, I'm taking a loss. Maybe not even all the time because the actual setup is wrong, but because it's like, okay, I'm in the trade and the trade's going in, it's gone in profit to a past the point where I should have gone reduced risk. But now I'm dribbling in my pillow because I'm asleep and I can't manage the trade. The next thing you know, I wake up and I've hit stop loss. And that is a horrible way to start the day, bro. Like I used to wake up, check it, pissed off, bro. For the rest of the day, it's just like, I'm just hot now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, bro, like data analysis was definitely something. And it's like, because I realized, oh, most of the trades I'm losing are in Asia, I'm just going to stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's like, bro, if every day I go and talk to someone, I talk to a girl and then she like holds her nose and walks away. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was weird. Go to the next person. She does the same thing. Go to the next person, does the same thing. Bro, by the time it's like 4 or 5 people, I have to be like, yo, maybe I need to brush my tongue. Or maybe I need to put some chewing gum. Or maybe I need to do something. Do you see what I'm saying? But people will know that instinctually. And then it's like, they will come to the market. And it's like, okay, cool. They're taking the trade, losing, taking the trade, losing, taking the trade, losing. And they're not analyzing anything. They're just doing it over and over again. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's just dumb, you know?
So for you, reflection is very important.
100%.
Now, sometimes when people, they do this, they study everything. They still journal all their trades, but they're still losing. Do you believe that you can do it by yourself?
I believe that you can if you really want to. Is it wise to do it? No, like, bro, we're on like the 3rd floor. I could jump out head first. Do you know what I mean? I can do it. Great. It doesn't mean it's wise, you know? So can you do it by yourself? Yeah. And it's like, maybe you can. Do I recommend it? 100% not. Why? Because you're looking at, it's like, you might be in an argument, or not even an argument. Have you ever had it, right? You might have had it, where you've got a friend and he's telling you about his girl troubles or whatever. And he's like, oh, you know, she doesn't respect me and da-da-da. And it's like, you can see, it's like, bro, you need to get rid. Because he's in it at the time, he's like emotional about it. It's the same thing with trading, bro. It's like, okay, cool. I'm in the situation I'm in right now. So it's like, I can't see it for what it is. If I go to someone and like, yo, bro, like, this is what's going on. Can you help me out? What's going on here? He might be like, yeah, but bro, like, do you have a plan? Because all these trades look very different to each other. Oh, no, I don't have a plan. Okay, well, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I didn't actually think of it like that. Next thing you know, there's a shift made. So can you do it by yourself? Yeah, if you want to, you know, trial and error, they call it, right? But trial is often timely and error is often deadly, especially to your trading account. So I'd rather not do that. I'd recommend somebody to learn from someone that knows what they're doing so that they can look at your trading and they can look at what's going on from a bird's eye perspective and say, bro, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because the person might not even realize that they're making these mistakes. And it's like, it takes someone from above to look at them and be like, yeah, this is garbage, bro. And then that's when learning happens. And I think people aren't as forthcoming to accept, like, to let a little pain into their life, you know? For me, like, sometimes I would mark up charts after I started working together and I'll be like, bro, like, is this right? And you'll be like, no. And it's disheartening a little, you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop now. If anything, it's more reason to go because it's like, so there is a way to do this. Okay, great.
So how did you overcome that uncomfortable feeling? Because naturally we feel pain. You know, we might feel embarrassed too, sharing it in a group chat, sharing it on a call.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
Number one, I'm not a bitch.
I knew that was coming.
Right? And number two, I realized that, okay, any time where there's a bit of pain is usually taking you in the right direction. Right. And when I say that, I'm not talking about flipping, You know, you can take some drugs and be in pain for. I'm not saying that. No, yeah, like let's not do that, right? But I'm saying if you're moving in the right direction, it's like if you're in the gym and you put an extra weight on, it might be a bit more painful. But you know, if you do that consistently, your muscles are going to grow. You're going to get bigger, right? So it's like I realized that, okay, cool. The more I go towards discomfort, the better I'm getting. The better I'm getting. The better I'm getting. Hold on a minute. I just had a withdrawal. Great. Hold on a minute. My account's actually growing. Hold on a minute. I'm not actually losing so many trades right now. Do you see what I'm saying? And again, it's just like, you just have to just go through it, bro. Like, yeah, it's uncomfortable. I can see you being in the gym, bro. Is it not uncomfortable?
Very uncomfortable.
Do you see what I'm saying? You know, like people want to talk about this. Have you ever had 3 plates on your back when you're squatting? That's uncomfortable. Does that mean you don't do it? No, it doesn't. It just means you just keep doing it some more, I guess. What's the alternative? Do you know what I mean? You're going to keep doing it by yourself, knowing that full well what you're doing is not working.
So for you valued the pain of change over the pain of staying the same.
100%. I'd rather change than stay the same. Like, who wants to stay the same? And I don't even think it's even possible to stay the same. Because if you're trying to stay the same, you're dying, bro. Do you know what I mean? You're either growing or you're dying, right? No one stays the same. It's impossible. You know, even if you make the same money, I made 10K this year and I made 10K last year. You didn't really, because inflation's eating away at your money. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's impossible. You can't stay the same. So then, rather than trying to stay the same, just move forward and grow, or just know that you're dying and just be okay with it.
So you're saying that the people who, for example, are doing it by themselves, not getting feedback, not learning, not growing, not investing into themselves, not educating themselves, they might be trying to get it for free. You feel like they're not actually progressing. Even they might feel like they're progressing because they're journaling their trades. They feel productive. They're watching videos. They feel productive. But because you're saying, because they're not actually getting that feedback from someone else, they're having the illusion of progress.
Yeah, bro. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's like, bro, come on, man. Like, what do you like? Even if you're growing at a slow rate, why are you doing stuff slow, bro? Do you know what I mean? When you know there's a way to do it faster, you just don't want to put the money, put your hand in your pocket, you know? Or you could not put your hand in your pocket, that's fine. But just know, if you come against someone that was hungry like how I was, or hungry like how you was, you just get fucking smoked, bro. And you need to be okay with that. Or you need to do something different.
You mentioned there's a recipe. So if we were to really condense that recipe, and someone who's never traded before, they're losing money, constantly blowing accounts, what would that step-by-step recipe be from day one to actually being a full-time trader?
What, from someone that's just like, right, I want to learn how to trade right now, just from scratch. Oh, perfect, bro. Number one, find someone that knows what they're doing. Like, find someone that knows what they're doing. Have a conversation with them. If you can, find a way, if there's a way you can, at very small cost, if possible, or even for free, maybe you can jump on a 15-minute call with them and see, like, get them to go through your stuff, you know, and at least help diagnose a little bit of your issue. Or if you're starting from scratch, rather, like, okay, cool, bro, this is what I want. You have it. Can you help me? Pay. Then step number one, find somebody. And obviously, like, vet them and make sure that the person actually knows what they're talking about, right? Step number two, put your hand in your fucking pocket. Just pay, bro. It's just digits. Like, people would like have the same issues for years, and they don't realize it eventually at a point where it's like, okay, I've been saving money. I'm the type of person that needs to save money, you know? You've been saving money for fucking years, bro, and you ain't got no results. Maybe it's time you do something different. So I would say, put your hand in your fucking pocket, and once you found someone, pay. After that, do exactly to the T. Like, be maniacal with it. Do what the person's advising you to do. You know? Do you remember you used to say to me, bro, mark up, like, send me some screenshots of like this and this and this and this and this. I'll be sending it, right? Do you know what I mean? Ask questions in the calls. I would ask questions, right? Even now, bro, I will ask questions. Do you see what I'm saying?
You're still growing, even though you're a full-time trader. Every day you're still learning.
100%, bro. What was I listening to on the drive here? Do you know what I mean?
Audiobooks.
Yeah, like, for me, learning is a lifelong process. And I never want to be the person that's like, all right, yeah, great. I left my job now. I'm done. Because again, going back to what we said earlier, you're either growing or you're dying. So it's like, you're never going to stay the same. And I'm smart enough to know that. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can to move in the forwards direction. Otherwise, I know how the story ends already. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, like, step 3, do exactly what the person's asking you to do. Once you've done it, step 4, get them to review what you're doing. Step 5, repeat the process. repeat the process, and just do it over and over and over again. Don't keep looking up at your result. Oh, have I made money yet? All right, you wouldn't do that if you were swimming, right? You're swimming in a race. You wouldn't swim, and then stop and be like, am I winning? Do you know what I mean? It's just that wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. So keep your head down, keep working, keep doing what you've been asked to do, and just repeat the process. And eventually, you're gonna get there, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you take a small hammer and just bang on the wall. It might look like you're not making any progress. Eventually, the wall's gonna fucking come down, bro. Do you know what I mean? And that's just kind of what I've been doing. I'm not, the smartest person. You know me, bro. I'm always making jokes and being silly, right? I'm not the most serious, upright person. It's just, okay, someone said do something. Okay, yes, sensei. No, sensei. 3 bags full, sensei. Do you see what I'm saying? Until you get where you need to get to. And then from there, if you want to, you can, start making little shifts here. Like, you know what I mean? You can make little adjustments based on your data if that is what's required. But I don't think you should be trying to do that in the beginning and trying to do it by yourself. Why? You haven't got anything. Do you know what I mean? Imagine a skinny person. Oh yeah, man, I'm just going to lift weights the way. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger did it this way. I'm just going to try and find it my own way. It's just going to get smoked, bro. Do you know what I mean?
You're talking about being coachable, being teachable, really following that path.
Yeah.
Even there's going to be points you're saying, when you got the right information, you had the mentor, you had everything, it wasn't instantaneous, it just solved it. There were still points where you wasn't getting results. You continued to follow that plan with faith, push through, and then the last thing to grow was the fruit.
Yeah, 100%. Just keep moving, bro. Just keep moving forward. Like, there's a quote by the business partner of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. He said, each day, grow a little wiser. Step by step, you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. I'll never forget that. So it's like step by step, you get ahead. Every day, you get a little wiser, little wiser, little wiser, little wiser. If you do 1% a day for a year, that's 365% of growth, bro. If you do that for 2 years, you're telling me you're not going to make any money. Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? If you eat well, train hard, drink water, sleep as much as you like 8 hours or whatever, you're telling me after 2 years, you ain't going to be in great shape. It's almost impossible. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
So from now doing that, can we get into how your life has actually changed?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
So tell us then. So before, you was waking up at the crack of dawn, getting on a bus, waiting all day. It was painful. You was broke, busted, and disgusted. So what does life actually look like now? I know you mentioned you have freedom.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm free. Like, as men, we just, for me anyway, I don't need a lot. Like, I wake up when I want to wake up. It usually ends up being pretty early, for the gym. I do what I want to do. Once I've traded, like once I've done with the trading day, we'll go out. You probably see in my story, I have to eat out quite often. I travel as I please, around my work.
So you haven't got to book one holiday a year and plan for
I ain't got to call my manager and please sir, can I, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do all of that. One thing that I realized as well, I can't remember what trip it was. I don't have
many trips, eh?
No, I mean, I try my best, I try to get out a little here and there. I will go on a trip, and it's like, I might be a few days into my trip, halfway through my trip, and I'm not thinking about, gotta go back to work in a few days. Because it's like, what I noticed, what I was doing when I went on a couple of holidays when I was working in Tesco. I say holidays, conventions in the company that we were in, right? But like, let's say we go for a week. Monday, I'm excited. Tuesday, I'm excited. Wednesday, I'm excited. Thursday, I'm excited, but it's like, it's being dimmed down by, I gotta go back to work on Monday. Do you know what I mean? And I just, now my holiday is enjoyable all the way through because I actually enjoy what I'm doing. I'm excited to come back home to get to work again. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, that it's enjoyable. Obviously, like, I still spend time with like the same, like with my family and it's my same people. Like, do you know what I mean? My peoples, Obviously the the bill's a little bit higher, But outside of that, bro, like, I'm just free and I'm just more like at peace on my day to day, And like, my life is always like, I've always optimized for freedom because that's just, for me, it's like freedom. With freedom comes peace, and with peace, do you know what I mean? I can't be the best dad I want to be and be worried like, okay, I've got to go to work, so we can't do this or we can't do that, or I'm struggling, or do you know what I mean? I can be a better husband, I can be a better son to my mom. Do you know what I mean? I can actually help, and I can do things now. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm flying out in 2 days' time from now. My daughter said, oh yeah, daddy, she's 4, well, she's gonna be 4, she's 3, talking about, daddy, I need a holiday, bro, it's crazy, bro. And it's like, She asked, "Oh, Daddy, for my holiday, I want to go to the farm and I want to go on holiday." I told her, "No, we're not going on holiday," because I wanted it to be a surprise, right? But as soon as she went to sleep, I was like, "T, find somewhere cool," and we just go. Do you know what I mean? And I like that. If I compare that to what my life was like before, it's worlds apart, you know? So yeah, man, obviously, you know, I guess added perks, you know, I can buy what I want to buy. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, this is like half of my wages. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, things are a little bit more just free flowing, man. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I like my life to be.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So
Yeah, man.
financially, your life has completely changed, right? You was kind of stressing about the bills before, putting your card down, it stung a little bit. Now it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's just it's peaceful, bro. Sometimes depending on what I'm buying, it's like, do I need this? Do you know what I mean? But like, if I'm just being real, bro, now it's just like, you know, it's just peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but you know, obviously I still got businesses to run and things go wrong. I don't want it to seem as if like, oh, life is perfect. No, it's not, bro. But it's a lot more. I'm a lot more en route to that perfect, that not perfect, but that, do you know, that life that I want for myself. I'm a lot closer to it now than I was when I was working in Tesco. Like, bro, when I was working in Tesco, it was like I said earlier, bro. Like we spoke about it was just dark, bro. Do you know what I mean?
So we mentioned obviously in the industry, there's a lot of like rubbish out there.
Facts.
So why do you actually think that most traders are really failing now?
I think because they're not taught about like. They're not taught about a lot of stuff outside of technicals, bro. If we're just keeping it real, bro. Like, most people think that psychology is like just airy-fairy stuff. Okay, cool. If that's the case, then why are you making no profit then? Do you know what I mean? You know, people will talk about, oh yeah, you know, like I'm not gonna call the person out, but I was on a TikTok, right? And I was just, you know, just going through people's lives as you do, I was just keeping my ear to the streets of Forex, if you will, right? I was asking that, there was a guy on live and I asked him a question. I said, bro, do you use fundamentals, macroeconomics? He said, no, why would I do that? I was like, excuse me? Okay, cool. I said, oh, why? Why is that? He said, because it's not important, bro. Like, what does it matter if there's red folders? What does it matter? And I was like, hold on a minute. Are you telling me that you think the markets move because of these lines? Or what's going on right now? And long story short, it was like, fundamentals don't matter. It's like the market's gonna move where it's gonna move. I was like, okay, that's fine. Moved on with my travels, right? So I think people aren't learning what's really driving the markets. Number one, they're not learning about what actually makes people unprofitable from a psychological perspective. You know, people think that, oh, you know, they need to be trading all the time. They think it's do more, get more, and I understand why. You know, you're not stupid. You're just indoctrinated. You know, what are we taught from 17? If you're working a pay by the hour job, okay, you know, if you work 10 hours and you earn £10 an hour, okay, you get paid £100. If I work 7 hours, I get paid £70. Okay, well, I don't want less money. I want more money. So I've got to work more. So they try to bring the same thing to Forex. And then they quickly met with resistance, as I was. Do you see what I'm saying? As you probably were as well, right? So I think people aren't really learning the right stuff. On top of that as well, another reason why I think people are just struggling is because they're like, they fall victim to that shiny ball effect. There's so many strategies out there.
So what do you think about all these other strategies online, right? We've got ICT, SMC, order clocks, all these things. What do you think about that?
I think people have the wrong thing in mind. It's not even so much about the strategy. If you think ICT is coming to save you, he's not. He's not coming to save you. If you think SMC is coming, it's not coming to save you, right? I think people are like, oh, this is going to work for me. It's not about that, bro. What are you doing? You know, you can't talk about, oh, my strategy. And it's like, bro, your life outside of trading is just in tatters. Do you know what I mean? You're just stressed out all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I just think it's, people put too much emphasis on the strategy. And that's why I think it's just like all of these strategies, it's just dumb. Do you know what I mean? Not because of the strategy, but because of the people working the strategy. Do you get where I'm coming from, my bro?
Yeah. So it's not the technicals, it's not the goal, it's not one thing that's going to make you profitable. You're saying it's your approach to the market, like you mentioned, having that structure, having that guidance, and really having that plan and recipe to follow.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think as well, just adding to that as well, the risk rewards that come with these strategies as well. Because it's like, bro, we see them. You got a 30 pip stop loss. It's like, bro, I don't know where you're going with that, bro. If I'm being very honest, it's like, You know, oh, I trade this, and it's like this. I've got this size stop loss, and this is like, bro, can you make it? Yeah, you're just making it more hard for yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's my thing on all of these strategies. I think people put too much emphasis on the strategies themselves and less emphasis on who they are themselves. You know, who is it that said it? Jim Rohn. He said you must work harder on yourself than you do on your craft. But then people will hear that and it's like, all right, I'm going to work more on my ICT. What do you call them? Order clocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work on my order clocks more than I'm going to work on myself. And then you wonder why you don't make anything. Do you know what I mean?
That's powerful, man. And I think that everyone at home should really take that seriously because you're clearly a testament to that, right? You said you were spending all your time on a strategy, but of course, adding economics helped a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
But the psychology was really a game changer. So before we sort of wrap up now, can you go into a little bit more in depth for the psychology? Because most people look at Mark Douglas, trading in the zone, right?
Yeah.
But is that like, what do you actually think about psychology? What does it mean to you?
I think psychology is like the underpinning of everything, you know? It's like you can't.
A lot of people say that. They say, oh, trading is 80% psychology.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it so important to you?
Yeah, because people don't realize how much your mind affects your trading. It's like, you know, how did the saying go again? It says, you don't look at the market. I think it was actually you that told me this actually. You don't look at the market as it is. You look at the market through the lens of who you are. So if you're pissed off all the time, you're just having arguments all the time and your life is chaotic, you're going to see that same chaos in the markets. If you're calm and you're operating from that perspective, you're going to see that turn up in your MT4 history or wherever you're trading, your trading history, right? If you're not working on that, if you're not aware as to why you're not, if you're not aware as to what is driving you, you're always going to struggle. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, if we just look at what psychology even means, just break the word up for a minute. Psyche, mind and soul. Ology, the study of. So if you don't study the mind and not so much the soul, but the mind of a trader, how do you expect to move forward? And again, bro, like even just to add to what I was saying earlier about the whole thing about, you know, the markets well, I think you said it, the market's been 80-20. It's like, it's you that's trading the market. Isn't it interesting? One person can trade order clocks, right? Wink, wink. And he could be getting nowhere. Or one person can trade, in fact, fuck the order clocks. Let's talk about Wyckoff. One person come in and trade Wyckoff. He doesn't see any results. This doesn't work. You know, and then one other person come in and he seems to make it work. What's the difference? It's not the strategy, it's the person. And people don't realize that. People don't even realize what's driving them to make the mistakes that they're making. Like we spoke about earlier, the whole, you know, do more to get more. That's a psychological thing. You like only a fool will try and come to the market with the same mentality as he came to with his 9-to-5 job. That doesn't make sense. They're two different beasts, you know, because we're not paid on our effort. We're paid on our decision making, you know. And if your decision making is based on what state you're in, i.e. your psychology. So it's like, if you're not operating from not right or wrong, I don't like to use right or wrong, from an effective state that is effective for trading success and you know, profitability, well then what do you expect, bro? Do you know what I mean? And most people say it's airy fairy. Again, if you look at what the like 95% of people aren't able to make profit or be consistent with it. Only 5% are. If you look at what 95% of people are doing, most of the time, they're not working on psychology. So what does that mean? Do you see what I'm saying? And as that number grows, if more people work on their psychology, I think personally that more people would, like that number, that what's the statistic, will change. And the number on the 5% will start to increase. But people don't want to hear that. They want to hear, getting on gold, man. Moves fast. It just means you're going to get stopped out faster. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not working on your psychology. So just to kind of to wrap up on what I was saying, I think what does psychology mean to me? It means understanding what is driving you and understanding how that is affecting your performance in these markets. And people don't study that enough.
So you're basically saying there's hidden forces that are really governing all our decisions.
Yeah.
And where most people are just focusing on the charts, they're actually doing themselves a disservice and now trading handicapped.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. You know, if you just look at even look at the mistakes that people make over trading. it's that comes from the whole, you know, working thing that we just spoke about. Even looking at like how people respond after they lose trades, they down themselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. I don't even want to say it out of my mouth because your tongue is such a strong, probably one of the most strongest muscles in your whole body, right? Because it dictates what your life is going to be like. But it's like they will say all these things and they'll down themselves, and it's like, bro, you're, again, the psychology, you're attaching what results you get from the market to your sense of self-worth. It's called self-worth for a reason, not market's worth. Do you know what I mean? You know, so people, and the same on the other way, they hit a good day and no one can chat to them. Okay, let's see where your results lie in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really powerful, man. And I'm so glad that you shared light onto some of this stuff because it's not spoken enough in this industry. Everyone just focuses on the silver bullet, this guru stuff online, and that's why they're not making any progress. Today, you've shared some of the secrets that not only have transformed your life, but a lot of the students we both work with. Now, guys, if you did like hearing from Nathan, don't forget to hit him up on his Instagram. What's your Instagram?
NateBlit_.
If you want to learn more from us, you can join our live trading communities where me and him stream 2 times a week each. That's 4 live trading sessions. You can directly speak to Nathan, directly speak to myself, get that real support that's actually going to transform your trading. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. It's been your boy, the Master of Coin.
Your boy Nate be lit, because Nate really does be lit.
We're going to see you from the top, at the top, because that bottom is way too crowded.
Yes, sir.
Sheesh.